Nice turning you down. I'm coming up on that.
Not tonight, it's a government looking for me for the result from that one.
Oh, that's right. Very good. All right, so you can. Oh, she got it. You ready? Ready? Call the meeting order. Village clerk, please call roll.
Burgess.
Here.
Gordon. Here. Myers. Here. Hoskin.
Here.
Washington. Williams. Here.
All right, move to item number 2, Microtech USA. Mike's not going to be here tonight, but we are talking about the IT, if you want to call it, and everyone should have received the, I think it was, I don't know if it came, remember if it came email, or if it was in your boxes from Gerald Pike, who's currently doing.
Hard
Oh,
copies if anybody needs it.
you got copies?
If anybody wants a hard copy, I have them right
Yeah,
here.
we pass up the hard copies.
Sure.
We know exactly what Microtech has already provided. We went back and asked if they could go to a 90-day net, and they came back and said they couldn't, that it had to be a 30-day net. But looking at what Gerald's provided, I'd like to put Microtech off for maybe 6 months, and let's give Gerald a chance to make some of these changes he's brought in. If you look at money-wise, I probably should have highlighted some of this. Gerald's contract, which he's had for over years, quite a few years, was right around $35,000 a year. If I remember right, if someone had time to read this, he's willing to drop it down to about $24,000. So we're looking at a cost savings right there alone at about $11,000, keeping him. He's also willing to come in and make some changes where he thinks he can do some additional cost savings for us. And Gerald's been with us for quite a while, so I kind of like to at least give him the chance to take a look at what he can do. He's also looked at our current emails. He feels he can come up with a better email system than what we're currently using. Something that we talked about with Microtech. Again, you have to look at his numbers. Right now, we have something like megabytes with our emails. That's why our emails keep on overflowing. They're looking at giving us, 50 gigabytes per user. And it can archive for up to 7 years. So, and it also has a cloud, if you look at his proposal. So if it's okay with the board, and we weren't making changes tonight anyway, I'd like to kind of take Microtech, push them off for 6 months. Let's give Gerald 6 months to see what he can do. And at the same time, still cost savings to the village. Does any trustees have a problem with that or any issues?
No, as a matter of fact, what you just said, I was going to bring that exact point up. Because I felt that two things about this Microtech. Number one, how much we got to pay we're late. We already know we're going to be late on our bills a lot of times, and then they're going to charge us that kind of money each and every month if we're 31 days late. Gerald's never charged us. He's gone along with us over the years. When we were behind or whatever, we didn't have money. He still waited, and it's just a matter of talking to him. And then the second thing, this guy has never worked with a municipality. I had a problem with that. And Gerald does and has worked with many municipalities. So I'm glad that you did bring it up. I'm glad Gerald did make his proposal because I was going to ask for it anyway. So I think you said 6 months. I would say indefinitely, but we'll say 6 months.
I think if he can do what he says in his proposal, they will probably continue to pass that.
Right.
But I'd like to give him 6 months to just be able to say, here's what they can do. And again, the reason we brought Microtech before the board was because of what they were offering. And we weren't getting it from Gerald. Well, Gerald stepped up to the plate and says he can do it.
Sometimes you have to do that.
That's right. And now it's a cost savings to the village. If you look at what I say, $11,000.
Sometimes you have to tell the person that you have, this is what we see out there, that can you meet it or beat it?
Right. And he beat it, and he says he can do it. So, yes.
Thank you.
We're still staying on the original agreement contract he had with us, right?
Correct, yeah, we're not changing any of the contract,
Okay.
except for the amount that he's making.
So
He's willing to come back in.
So they're going to continue to put, get that server and everything up running, right?
To get the emails the way that we need them. We're looking at some type of VPN, and he's got a cloud type system that gives us the amount of space that we need. He's got the archiving, which the village is looking for. We're also, one thing that we are going to have to talk to Gerald about, where Microtech was working with us with the website. We still want to make it where
He's currently working.
Gerald's doing a good job on working with the website. However, we want to be able to get other people trained, so that people within their departments can make changes to their portion of the website. If the police department wants to add something to the police department's portion, or fire department wants to add something, right now, everything has to go directly through Gerald, and Gerald has to make those changes. That's one thing that Microtech was going to do, is provide the training so people could update their own portion. So that's one thing we do need to talk to Gerald about. But other than that, if you didn't have time to read his proposal, and I think you'll see that it's a benefit to the village. Continue keeping them. Trustee?
No, I agree with what was said. I too saw, as Derek saw, that they didn't have any other villages or anything that's done it. When we asked for the references, all they gave us was nonprofit organizations that was working with no municipalities, so I was kind of wanted to come out with this idea. So I go along with that. I think Gerald deserves a chance to keep on going.
He's been with us for years. He's been a good guy. Any other trustees? Alrighty. Move to item number 2, municipal solutions. Rita's not here tonight either, but asked if the trustees had any questions. She provided got my stuff here. She did provide what the services that she can do for Sauk Village. Oh, it's right there, sorry. And pretty much want to bring it back for the board tonight to see if any trustees had any further questions, if you had time to digest her proposal. I think it's a lot of things we talked about in the last meeting, where we talked about continue keeping it bi-monthly. The village would still end up purchasing all the postcards and the postage, which we're currently doing right now. What her job would consist of is getting the information from Public Works, gathering all the information, making sure that all the readings are taken, and getting everything on billing and getting it sent out. Was there any other questions that they have?
I thought she was supposed to send us a final draft of what the entire program and everything she's going to be doing for us, a total final figure.
That was this right here, the proposal.
So that was the final one.
Right, and she broke it down into, I think, 3 or 4 different ones. If she did continue doing it bi-monthly, if they did it monthly, if they did it with the postcards versus if they did it with the full sheets. Yeah, I think that's, here it is right here. Postcard billing, bi-monthly, monthly prices, full page billing prices. If we, on the full billing, if we add additional sheets, how much it costs per sheet. That was all part of the proposal that she provided.
Yeah, I just had a couple of questions. The first one, how are we going to fund this? How are we going to pay close to $4,000 a month for this particular service just for this? How are we going to do that? And I did hear you say that it's going to stay bi-monthly, so therefore that wouldn't cause a problem as far as anything. But I think it's for every 2 months, it's $1.70 per bill.
It was $1.50 per bill.
$1.50 plus, and then, but my question is, how are we going to fund that? I mean, that's an extra added expense that we don't have right now.
It is.
So how will we, before we make that decision, how are we going to, the board, what kind of suggestions do they have as far as how do we fund this extra $3,500 to $4,000 a month that we have to pay for this particular one service?
It's 22, if I remember right, was it 2,200 bills go out a month?
Last time I said approximately 2,100.
2,100, so, yeah. So,
Okay,
so you're looking at a little over 2,000 bills going out a month at $1.50 per bill.
that's 3,000.
Okay, so you have $3,000. The cost of this service right here would be going right back into the building. And we're looking at the late fees. And we talked about coming from the board about raising late fees. Raising the late fees to help pick up some of this cost to do the service. And the thing is, we need to find out, first of all, if it's something that we want to go at, again, because as we look at fees, as we're looking at the fees and stuff that we're, feel like I'm going in and out. As we're looking at the fees and amounts that we're raising the fees, we have to know exactly what's going to entail.
Right.
So the raising of the fees will pay for her services. At the same time, it allows us to hit Cindy up at the window full-time and to be able to do the job in the front office. Where right now they're between Cindy and Mike's not able, they're trying to float their jobs. So that's the way it works out.
I mean, I know what you're saying, that it's projected that we could do it, but right, I mean, this is gonna be something that we can, what's it, a 3-year contract?
No, that's what everyone was asking for. I mean, this is a year-by-year contract.
Okay, she's asking for a year contract, okay.
She's willing to go to 3 or 5 years, but I think she feels that we should probably go with the first year to see if you're happy with her services.
Because I'm looking at money, I'm looking at how much, I mean, you're saying that the fees, is gonna take a little bit for the fees, and you're projecting that people, you know, which we know people are already gonna be late, but, to be honest, Mayor, I'm looking at 2 things. If we have $3,000 a month, we can use a part-timer, and then when they're not doing that, they can also work at the front desk. This is just something I'm throwing out there. If we're gonna do that.
By contract, you cannot.
But this is gonna be the same thing, this is outsourcing.
This is outsourcing, and there's no benefits.
There's no benefits, right?
There's
The
no
same thing with
insurance.
part-time, would be no benefits, it's a part-timer, but I'm just looking at something that we can utilize that person that's gonna be there for that kind of money, rather than have a service come in and all they do is billing, that's it, nothing else. I mean, quite naturally, when we have other things for them to send out, they're gonna charge us for that too, if we have to send out some literature and things, but she's already explained that, that's not a problem, we already know that. But to take on this expense right now and don't have a body, don't, you know, because if Cindy takes off, we still have to put a body there, but if we have somebody there on a part-time basis, you know, they can cover. I mean, those are just some of the things I'm throwing out for that kind of money that we're talking about doing. Now, if you're saying that it's gonna cover, the expense is gonna be covered by the late, I still need to see that, because I'm looking at another expense that will probably most likely be passed on to the people at the end. We've already raised the rates twice since the last year. And now we're basically not raising the rates, we're just charging more for the delinquent, as you can call it. But that's not a clear cut each and every month. We're not gonna have X amount of money automatically coming in each and every month because delinquent. Hopefully, if you're delinquent this month, you won't be delinquent next month, so we can't just count on that. And that's what I was looking at, how are we going to pay this? I'm not in favor of raising any more rates, especially with the water. We've done it long enough, we've done it twice. Our water bills have gone up twice, 100% within the last year and a half, so I'm not looking to that, but my opinion, I think right now we can keep what we have, and maybe if we have to get help at that front desk, because it would be help for the front desk also, get someone trained. Train that person in water billing. If Cindy doesn't want to do it, train somebody in doing water billing, but to go get it outside, I mean, we can't utilize that lady to do anything but do water billing.
I think what you're saying sounds good in theory. However, we do have unions, and there is no part-time in there, and by outsourcing, it gives us a way to do this, again, at paying no benefits, at paying no salaries, and to be able to absorb the costs inside the building. Now, if the board doesn't want to do it, and I'm only bringing something to the board.
Right, no, just one person.
Right, well, I'm saying, if the board doesn't want to do this, that's fine, but the board has to realize we're not hiring anyone else. There's no more hiring because you have to hire through the union. And there is currently people that's laid off, so you have to bring people back before you can even think about bringing someone in part-time. So, this is a way that, number one, we can, get additional work done. It can be contracted out, and it's not costing us to bring, anyone else in and have to pay the benefits, at the cost. And again, the cost can be absorbed through the billing. But if the board's not in favor, I've got no problem, we'll put it off to the side. Again, we've talked about this next year, there's going to be some tough decisions. And again, when you look at something, you have to look at the whole entire picture, which I try to present, where, you know, the cost to bring someone back is going to be way up here, where this cost is very low. They can do this work, and it can be absorbed into the water bill. But again, there's going to be more tough decisions we're going to have to make this next year. We're in a deficit looking at this next budget, and you know, and I'm bringing things because we cannot hire, and we are not going to hire someone else. We're trying to make the job easier for the people in the front office. We're trying to get more work done where it won't cost the village anymore. You won't see it, that the cost will be absorbed in the billing. So, and again, it's one reason, the only reason I brought this to the board. And again, this is the last time we're bringing it, because Rita's been before the board for the last 2 or 3 years. She continues to provide information, If the board says no, it's off the table and it's gone. It won't come before the board again. So I'm pretty flexible. Go ahead, trustee.
Just a couple of things. I am in favor of this. The only thing that I know that I talked to Mohan about 2 weeks ago is kind of understanding what is done by the individual in the front office now that is going to be done, that is going to be replaced, and how is that going to affect time? Because that's what I think really needs to be presented, is the amount of work that is going to be removed, that's going to allow time for other things, and I would still like to see that. I know that we've talked about the cost, and I know that we have raised water rates, and I understand that, and I think anybody who thinks that we're not going to have to do it again is not thinking clearly. I know it's something that nobody wants to do, but it's something that's going to happen. We know what our infrastructure is like. We know what the plan is for the future. So $1.50 as an administrative cost, I think is something we should probably look at to be put on everybody's bill. I pay a water bill, it's $1.50. It's all about ways that we can get things done. We have to start working smarter and not harder. And right now, we're having our employees work harder. If I could see something from Mohan to show me exactly what's going on, what is happening in that office now, what this is going to do to improve what's happening in that front office now, I think that's what we need to have. I'd like to see if we could maybe get that in our packets on Friday. And I would actually like to see this on the agenda next Tuesday, because I agree, Rita's been here multiple times over multiple years, and we've gone over this. We've beat this horse dead. We either need to do it or leave it alone, because it's not fair to keep dragging this out, and we're reinventing the wheel every single time. We got a concrete plan, we have options. I think we talked about, we weren't going to do the monthly billing. We talked about we weren't going to do the letter. We were going to keep it with the postcard, so we know what plan, if we're going to go with it, we know what plan we're going to go with. I think it's just time to get those couple questions answered. I don't know if anybody else has any questions, but that's my only thing, is to kind of see where Mohan's going. And if we could get that information, I'd like to see this.
You want to break down the office employees' duties and what's going to change by bringing this in.
And not even like a full list of their duties. I want to know how their day-to-day life is going to be affected by this. If it takes whoever's in the front office 10 hours a week to handle water billing, that's what I want to know.
Just
one person handles water billing, doesn't matter.
Yes.
I just like to use names. So if that person is doing water billing, and if the massive amount of her job is water billing and it takes 30 hours a week, is this only going to remove 10 hours? Is this going to remove 15 hours? What's going to be replaced? And And how is that gonna affect us overall? Because eventually there's cost-benefit analysis.
And they can put all that together, because right now we are splitting everyone's duties so someone can be at the front desk. That's why if you come, sometimes you see our payroll person up there, and sometimes you see the water clerk, and sometimes you see a code enforcement officer, and sometimes you see the administrative, you see, we can name names, but that's why you come and you see someone different all the time, because everyone is splitting up, trying to stay up there for an hour, 2 hours. Sometimes you'll find a finance director up there working, because everyone's trying to get caught up into their work, and that pulls him away from doing his job. Thank you. So everyone's pulling away from doing their job so that someone can be at the front window. Again, we made the decision to open back up on Wednesdays. Wednesdays was the time that everyone was able to come back and get their work caught up that they pulled away from throughout the week. We're open up on Wednesdays now, so you find that they're working late. They are coming in early. I mean, there's nothing I can be here some mornings at 6:30, and it's 6:45, people are coming in, so they start working, try to get ahead before they have to open that front window. You come in here at night, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night, it's nothing to see them trying to get caught up with their work because they're behind. So they're working long hours, and there's trustees sitting at this table. You're coming here same time I'm here at night. I can see you walking through, you're seeing the same people that I'm seeing. Again, we don't have the money to hire someone. And I say hire someone, we don't have the money to bring someone back to work making those union skills. We just don't, and it's not going to happen. Any other trustees? What we'll do is I'll ask Mohan to put all this together for you. We have it in your boxes on Friday. Again, it's a yes or no vote. I don't care how the board votes. You're the ones that are going to have to face your vote. And so how about, if you don't mind, we'll put it on the agenda. Yes or no. If it goes, it goes. If it fails, it fails. I've got nothing invested in this. My investment is bringing it to you for you to review. All right. So next Tuesday night we'll have it on the agenda. All right, item number 4, public comment. All questions and comments must be directed to the mayor. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes to comment on topics of their choice. Each speaker will be allowed 1 opportunity to speak. If you have any questions or comments, please come to the podium. Better hurry. I'm quick.
I just want to know the legalities and standard operational procedure to start a girls' basketball team through the Park District at the community center. I don't know who I need to talk to. And just with the cost-efficient payroll, having somebody come in to do the water bills, maybe you should set a certain time, posted to Sauk Village, and have that in certain hours, so that way if anybody has any problems or questions, whoever is working in the window can deal with the water problems.
Could you state your name for the record, please?
Roberta Rakovich.
Thank you.
That's all I need to say.
The gentleman you talk to is right here. This is John Poskin, trustee Poskin. And I know, in fact, you do have a girls' basketball on your list. Basketball program. The trustee is probably going to be presenting tonight during comments about other events that he's looking to start this next year. And he's looking for public comments, and he's got a survey coming out. So in fact, I'm probably stealing a little bit of thunder. He showed it to me right before the board meeting. So I'm glad, and maybe make sure you get your name. Of course, I know where you live.
Right.
So I want to make sure that. So
that's the man I talked to.
yes.
Thank you for your time.
So thank you. We love hearing volunteers coming up. So here's a stranger I haven't seen in a while.
I just want to make a statement to these microphones. Quit being so kind and turning them off. Just please, leave them on. For the cost of a battery, we come up here to listen to what you guys have to say. Don't turn them off. Leave them on. I'll buy the batteries if we have to. But we're here to hear what you got to say. Please use them. Thank you.
Just real quick, I don't know if they're turning off. I think over time they automatically turn off. So that's why every once in a while I have to turn them back on, because they time out. So we'll have to find out.
That's something I have to check on, but this was turned off.
All right.
And I see people passing back before they want to turn it off. Now leave it on for what it is. Leave it on. It's a couple of batteries, you know.
No problem. All right, next. Anyone else? All right. I don't see anyone. So we'll go to miscellaneous business. Oh, all right. Please say your name and address for the
I
record.
have a question in regards to all the pests that you guys have under the skunks and the raccoons and all that.
Okay, what's your question?
Trapping them and taking care of them. I wanted to start a small business for nuisance animals in Sauk Village. How do I go about that? And what do I have to get for permits? As far as like trapping license, that all the skunks you guys got, raccoons, they're invading people's garbage and ripping things up.
The best thing to do is stop in and talk to Sherry throughout the day. She's at the front desk. She can tell you exactly what has to be
Well, the
done.
thing about it is you gotta go through the town. I'd like to start a small business. I work for Rock Solid Asphalt and Paving right here outside of Sauk Village. We do, he does a lot of charity work and all that. He, really good man. I'd like to start a small company, put out the coyotes and all that out here. They're gonna be taking dogs and all the little animals we grew up with to trap them, but you have to have permission from the town or the city to retain them.
Let me get your name and stuff. You got an ordinance review committee, but do you remember off the top of your head? I don't have the ordinance book in front of me right now, so I can't tell you.
Right, well, nobody's ever brought it up. I just meant it because all the skunks that you see running around and everybody else is complaining about the animals tearing up the garbage.
All right.
Can you state your name for the record, please?
Yeah, Robert Edmund Andrzejewski, A-N-D-R-Z,
You said it again?
A-N-D-R-Z-E-J-E-W-S-K-I. I was a child of this.
Glad you spelled it.
I grew up out there. I grew up out there. It's kind of nice to come back to a point, you know, but there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's, somebody brought me up here to make sure this is your community. You gotta speak up, you got a problem.
We'll check into it. I know the trustee, he's in part of the ordinance review committee, but we'll take a look and see if there's ordinance
After
something.
the meeting, please, you and I talked, just a couple of things the county does require that in case you don't know about, I can tell you what you need. And where did you say that you would like to locate this?
What's that?
Where did you say you'd like to locate that? Is it
Just,
out
I
there?
would probably do it out of Rock Solids Asphalt Paving, out of the
Right,
company.
that's not incorporated in that.
It's within some.
It's 2050 Long Street. It's right on the edge of Sauk Village.
It's the shortest long, it's the shortest long street we have.
Yeah, so, yeah, there's a couple things I mean, like, you know, license, especially when you said cattle, you will cut their.
Coyotes, everything. We've got a lot of nuisance. There's a lot of skunks out here in Sauk Village.
Okay.
Well, everybody's laughing because it's true. The raccoons and all that. When I was a kid, I trapped everything out here.
Okay, if you can just meet with the trustee after the meeting. All
I'm
right?
more than happy to.
All right, thank you very much. Go to next.
Judy Cast here. On this municipal solutions with Rita, I have a couple of questions. First of all, for $3,000 a month, I don't think, and I really don't know, but I don't think any employee in the front makes $3,000 a month. I'm not sure.
And that, once you include their benefits, their insurance.
Oh, well, hell, I need a job.
That's what
I was gonna say, for that kind of money, you could bring somebody back. Oh, that's a lot of money. I need a job. And I'm concerned too, by getting a contract like this, the hidden costs, you know, what happens when the contract is signed and then it comes up that, you know, we didn't discuss this and this is something that is absolutely needed and blah, 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 and it's gonna cost an additional whatever. You know, those possibilities are always there. But I really thought with the $3,000, you can bring somebody back. Oh, well, nice try. That was my only question, because for some reason, I have an uncomfortable feeling about this. I think we're gonna end up, cutting off our nose to spite our face. But I just feel like we haven't really dug into it deep enough. So, that's all. I just thought maybe we could bring somebody back with that money.
And I think it's a great point talking about hidden costs. That's why we had Rita in here for 3 or 4 days, over two months period of time. She came in, she sat down with our employees, find out exactly what they do, how it's being done. So we tried to eliminate any hidden costs, so she knew exactly what she was getting into. She went through all of our programs that we're currently using. So, but you're right. It seems like, especially when it comes to local government or any type of government, it seems like there's always hidden costs. So, but we try to make sure that there wasn't. I would say, and the other thing too is we're making sure that before anything's signed, that there's a way that the village can get out. There has to be a way she can get out. There has to be a way the village can get out. So we're making sure that we always have that written into any of our contracts. The village has a right. With, I think if I remember right, something like 30 days written notice we have a right to in the contract at any time. That's always the lawyers always have that in there. So. All right.
Put the name on the list for
Okay, we'll do. So I'll put you on there for volunteer. All right, nothing else? Now, yeah, I can't. Yeah, you only get one time to speak, sorry. Sorry about that.
I'll sit for the next one.
All right. All right, move to item number 5, miscellaneous business from comments from the trustees. Start with Trustee Williams.
The community outreach partnership meeting that was scheduled for tonight did have to cancel because Chief Levis was not able to attend. So just so the mayor is aware, we will be rescheduling that with you at some time.
Thank you.
The Public Relations Committee meeting will not be tomorrow. I stated last week it'll be I think it's the 26th, where we'll be doing student government day judging. Anybody who would like to participate in judging of the essays, please contact myself or the village clerk. And also, just to let everybody know, Senator Dwight Hutchinson is holding a workshop this Saturday at Prairie State College from 9 to 1 p.m. about the Affordable Care Act for individuals, families, and small business owners. So anybody who would like that information, there's you can have this flyer, there's a phone number, and it'll let you know exactly what kind of they're gonna go over, just so everybody can help to navigate the system. And the flyers are on the back. That's all I have.
Trustee Burgess.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to announce a couple of things. First of all, Congresswoman Robin Kelly, she's launching a student video contest in celebration of Black History Month. It'll be posted on the InterGov website, and then you can get the link from the village website. What she's doing is she's sponsoring video contests for students from from kindergarten through 8th grade. You can send a video in. It tells you how to do it, and there will be prizes. And everyone that actually puts a video in, she's going to recognize them. But there will be prizes. There will be a contest. The deadline is February 27th. But if you have any questions, I do have, I'm not going to read everything now, but everything is on the website. It's on our website, the InterGov website, and then also you can link it from the village website. But she's having a video contest for this month. If anybody has any questions, quite naturally afterwards, I'll entertain them. Secondly, our meeting will be Thursday here at Village Hall, 7 o'clock for the Intergovernmental Relations. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Trustee Myers.
Just got it.
It's on the village website, Facebook page. It's on the Facebook page.
All right, just a couple items, Mr. Mayor. I'm gonna try next week, Thursday, hold a ordinance review committee. There's a couple of things that came up that we need to discuss, and we need to look in a couple other items that the residents are looking forward to see. And once I get that information, I'll draft it up. I'll present it to the clerk to present it to the board. There's a couple of items I think people came up with. And again, we have a snowstorm on us tonight. People, be careful. Roads are pretty clear out there now, but as the night goes, it's going to get worse. And be careful. Last time there was a few accidents, so please be careful. Thank you. That's all I have.
Trustee Washington.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just want to announce that we have a new day and time for the Neighborhood Watch meeting on next Monday. We moved from Thursdays to Mondays at 6:30 at the fire station. So we would just like to remind everyone that we will no longer be there on Thursdays, but we will be at the fire station on the second Monday, which is this coming Monday at 6:30. Thank you.
Trustee Morgan.
Thank you, Board. Just want to let you know that that's coming up Sunday, February 9th at 2 p.m. The Beautification Committee will be meeting here in the Town Hall. And piggyback off of Mr. Myers, I just drove in and the roads are extremely slick, so use the extreme caution at all times. Thank you. Oh, no, Sauk streets are fine there.
Trustee Poskett.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Okay, first of all, we're having our Parks and Recs meeting will be Thursday at the Community Center at 6 p.m. Last week, we had, because of the snow, we had to cancel the basketball games, but they will be rescheduled. We will not be losing any games. So I'll have more information on that when I get with the coaches to reschedule those games. Also, I put together a flyer, which I hope to put out tonight, but because of my poor typing skills, there's a couple misspellings I have to go back and fix. But coming out will be a flyer looking for what programs we can have in 2014. I've got on there suggestions of a volleyball program, another basketball program over the summer, baseball. We're also looking for a cheerleader program, maybe a board game or a game night at the community center where families can come and play games and share games with one another, and a chess club. I'm also looking for other suggestions, so I'll be open to that. The flyer will be here next week for sure. I hope to have it out before then. Like I said, my typing skills are not the greatest, and I apologize for that, but I'm glad I had somebody proofread it. So, those are the plans I have. I'm looking forward to an exciting summer with the Parks and Recs, and I do need some volunteers and people to help me to get these programs going, and that's what this is all about. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Yeah, I didn't want to. So, yeah, there. As Trustee said, just make sure you know it's the information about Robin Kelly is on the official Sauk Village Facebook page. So we'll make sure it gets put on the website also. That's been out there, and then of course the mayor's Facebook page. We're putting stuff out there about the Affordable Care Act, and the big thing. Be careful, which Trustee already mentioned. The weather we've got coming in. We've got 2 waves. It looks like tonight's supposed to be the first wave. This weekend is the next wave. So. Seems like the weekends we've been getting hit with snow just about every weekend. So be careful out there. Make sure you check on your neighbors. Make sure you check on the elderly and your friends. That's important to make sure that everyone's doing okay. The other thing, this last week we had the H&R Block grand opening. So we had a ribbon cutting ceremony. And if you go to the official Facebook page, you can see some photos and stuff out there that we took while we were at the grand opening. So it was a good thing having H&R Block come back to Sauk Village. I got to talk to the regional manager. It's been 2 years since they closed the store. In fact, one of the managers that worked the store over 2 years ago, she came in and remembered each other. So we got to talk and we had some good times. And she liked to talk about the Christmas display, but we had a good time on the grand opening, and we're excited about that. And again, we've got some other things, if you want to call irons in the fire. We're working with some more local businesses coming to Sauk Village, and we're hoping that this next year that we'll see a couple more storefronts open, and we're working on some additional businesses in our TIFs. So it's been a while since we've seen this type of excitement in Sauk Village, which kind of makes us really glad that we can be out there, and again, it brings jobs to our community, so that's what's important also. Next week, just so the board knows, there's going to be 2 proclamations coming from the mayor. I'm working on them. We've got one coming for the Boy Scouts, which is February's Boy Scouts month, so we'll put a proclamation out for the mayor, and then working on a proclamation for Black History Month. So we'll be reading those during the mayor's reports next Tuesday. With that said, look for a motion to adjourn. Motion second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.